Oh my goodness, new enhanced videos show external, more intelligent life on 30i Atlas. Actually, no, that's just a fake AI video and rendering, as now there's some serious conversations about this comet or spaceship changing its trajectory. What in the world is going on? As we were specifically told, October 29th, today, will change everything. I don't know if it did. We'll get into it. As, of course, one of the scientists behind all of this, that some people are accusing of helping run a psyop, Avi Loeb, was just on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he described some very interesting situations, as now the Daily Mail is reporting. Their 3i Atlas makes mysterious move. What is that mysterious move? What did Avi Loeb have to say regarding all of this? Well, he had a lot of very interesting things to talk about, as he even delved into this kind of theoretical possibility that human intelligent life could be alien itself. Is it? As even Owen Schroyer described how he saw weird things in the sky last night himself, as there are a lot of very interesting comments leading up to a lot of this that describe how there are things out there that cannot be explained by human science. What is it then? We're going to be doing our best to try to answer that question and a lot more, all here on this on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button, as of course we greatly appreciate all of your attention and time with us. As, listen, there's been always a lot of weird reports of things up there in the sky. A lot of them were usually done before the era of cell phones. Now there's more cell phones than ever, and there are strange videos. There's a lot of AI now rendered fake videos. But what's really out there? What are we really seeing as the government now is releasing these type of weird TikTok videos, as individuals like Stephen Greer coming out and saying, yeah, they're Lockheed Martin advanced military tech, as some people are going as far as to say, hey, it's not even alien. It's not even out of this world type of tech. It's just advanced tech that would upend and change the world forever, because it would give humanity free energy that they would utilize to free themselves from the big oil cartels out there.
The phrase unidentified flying object is a deliberately obfuscating term. What it really is an alternative energy and propulsion device.
Now, according to even Catherine Austin Fitts, the government does have free energy type of technology and has utilized them in order to build underground bunkers. By the way, we're going to have her on later on in November. We're going to be, I'm so excited about this, because like she is super smart and really talks about deep down the government secret bunker type of stuff that is fascinating, and we're going to get into all of that with her. So I'm super excited to talk about that. But listen, do we have advanced free energy tech? I think so. It makes sense, right? If there ever would be a president that would come close to releasing all of it and just saying, screw it, it would be a man trying to get into heaven who cares about his legacy, who could say, yeah, you know what? Screw these special interest groups. If there ever was a president in our lifetime, that'd be Donald Trump.
This is the real reason for the secrecy. These technologies, if they were disclosed, would end fossil fuels, pollution, and poverty overnight, and usher in a new era of abundance, freedom, and peace. Instead, they have been kept secret for over 100 years.
Now, that's one of the accusations. The other kind of explanation is that there are different creatures, aliens, outside of this earth. Other people are saying, no, they're actually interdimensional creatures within this earth. Other people are saying, no, they're angels and demons. Other people are saying, no, it's just advanced U.S. military tech. Out of all those four options, which one do you think is more realistic? As I think there's even a possibility of all of those things being true at the same time. And we'll tell you why here. As right now, again, we're hearing and we're having a lot of speculation and we're having a lot of people being very kind of theoretical. And who do you really believe? Your gut. Don't believe anybody. I mean, people are literally putting LED lights on drones and be like, look, we got it. And I'm like, come on, let's be better. As now, this was one of the top posts on Reddit. Conspiracy experts warn people to brace themselves as mysterious alien spaceship to reach Earth tomorrow. It's not going to Earth. It's going to make it's made its way very close to Mars, right? Which Avi Loeb talked about how there's a lot of weird kind of correlations there. But this is what he recently had to say on a news show.
Now the 3i Atlas is flying behind it, perhaps for a reason. If it's a technological
He's talking about the sun.
object, that's the best time for it to do a maneuver when it's closest to the sun, to take advantage of the sun's gravity. That's what we do with our own spacecraft. And so the question is, will it appear on a different path after passing close to the sun? And of course, if that happens, the stock market may crash, because it would mean that, we have some risk involved. However, if it continues along its original path, it could still be that it releases some probes that go to the various planets and maneuver. So we should keep our eyes on this ball of light to figure out whether it's natural or technological. Often, in science, we don't face a situation where what we discover has implications to our daily life. And this is a very unusual case where...
Yes. Now, as people are saying, what's going to be found out about this comet or alleged spaceship today will be the determining factor whether it is a form of intelligent life or not, as the Daily Mail today is reporting that interstellar visitor 30i Atlas makes mysterious move towards the sun today in a cosmic turning point. The mysterious interstellar visitor passing through our solar system has reached the sun, and what happens next will reveal if it's an ordinary comet or a spacecraft. As the massive dubbed 30i Atlas makes its closest approach to our sun on Wednesday, many scientists believe it will begin to break up like a normal comet does under extreme heat. However, if 30i Atlas remains intact and maneuvers away from the sun, it would be a sign of extraterrestrial intelligence. Just like man-made spacecraft use rocket engines to veer away from objects in the solar systems. Wednesday's critical milestone, it's called the perihelion, with the object moving approximately 126 million miles away from the sun, which also marks the halfway point of 30i Atlas' journey through our solar system. Harvard physicist Avi Loeb called today's move towards the sun the acid test of 30i Atlas. Now, we haven't gotten any kind of findings, but this is what Avi Loeb had to say on the Joe Rogan podcast about this maneuver. Now, before playing this clip and a lot more, just really quickly, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop, because you shouldn't be losing sleep over this UFO possible PSYOP talk. And the best way to get some good sleep is through, of course, some magnesium glycinate. I cannot recommend it enough. I sell it on wearechange.shop. We make sure to source it for some top quality premium sources. As I just typed in magnesium glycinate into Twitter, and this is what people are saying. Quote, this is Pateria Dishman, I have no idea who this is, saying one of my favorite supplements for all things it can do is magnesium glycinate, the most bioavailable form. Why do I like it? It lowers your blood pressure naturally because it helps to relax constricted blood vessels. Also, drink plenty of water, avoid table salt, use real mineral salt instead. Yeah, that's also a big hack here. I make sure, I think I have some Irish sea gold and then I think I have some other Baja. I'm a salt snob now. Sorry about that, but not sorry. Which also has traces amounts of magnesium. It helps to protect the heart. The heart is a muscle, so it helps it to contract and relax. No magnesium, harder to relax, helps you sleep at night. Fixes constipation naturally, helps you alleviate headaches, reduces anxiety and depression symptoms, essentially helps to heal your nervous system. And that's why I started to like it, because I had a lot of anxiety. My nervous system was fried. All the crazy, front lines, conflict. I saw crazy stuff in my life that was traumatic. And this stuff helped me get my life in order, get it back together. I had a bunch of muscle cramps I was dealing with too. I couldn't sleep. I had anxiety. My nervous system was just shot. And then I started taking ashwagandha, magnesium, and then I started working out, and then I'm doing a lot better than I did before. Now, magnesium, super important for you. And do your own homework before putting anything into your own body. Make sure to talk to any kind of medical professional before putting anything into your own body that's foreign and new. But I like this. I usually take it with the last meal of my day. And get it right now at wearechange.shop. Now, let's continue on with Avi Loeb, because this is what he had to say about this approach from this comet / craft / unknown thing.
The light. And also, 2 weeks ago, I realized the arrival direction of 3A Atlas was within 9 degrees of the WOW signal that was detected in 1977, which was an enigmatic, powerful radio signal that definitely came from outside of this Earth. We don't know from where. It was coming from a source that was approaching the sun. And the chance of it aligning with the arrival direction of 3A Atlas is 0.6%. And I just said, well, that's interesting, because 3A Atlas was at a distance of 3 light days from the Earth at that time, and you just need about the output of a nuclear reactor on Earth, a gigawatt or so, to produce such a radio signal. By the way, Voyager, as of now, is 1 light day away from Earth. Just think about it. 1 light day, the farthest spacecraft we ever launched, is 1 light day away, and the size of the Milky Way galaxy, we are talking about tens of thousands of light years. So 1 day out of tens of thousands of years, that's the difference between the distance that we managed to bridge so far compared to another civilization.
A very interesting type of statement there. As then, of course, the two also talked about the sun, the comet trail. And again, I found this interview very fascinating. I'm still going through a lot of it, but it's always interesting to hear a lot of this stuff, because like we've never been having these type of conversations. The type of conversations that we always had before is like, you're crazy, you believe in aliens. And now it's like, oh yeah, here's a Harvard scientist on the #1 podcast show. I'm just openly just talking about the possibility of foreign life here, as he has previously come out and said, yeah, there's like a 40% chance that this is other forms of intelligence life.
Seeing here is the glow of light around the object from scattering sunlight. And the question is, what is producing that light? What is scattering sunlight? And the unusual thing about it, as soon as this was released, the comet experts said, oh yeah, now it's proven it's a comet. No, but I said, look, it's the sun-facing emission that is elongated. It's not the other side. The extent of the glow backwards, away from the sun, is the same as sideways. You don't see any cometary tail here.
Right.
And in fact, we're looking at it just like a cigar along the long axis. So it should be 10 times longer than it is wide if you were to look at it from the side. Amazingly, the best image was obtained on October 2nd, 2025, when 3A Atlas came within 30 million kilometers of Mars. And it was taken by the high-res camera on board the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is operated by NASA. As you remember, October 1st was the government shutdown. So October 2nd, the data was taken, but it was never released. I wrote to the principal investigator of HiRISE, asked, can I get the data? I'm a scientist. You can do the press release afterwards. I would like to see it.
Right.
No response. And so it's already 3 weeks.
Wow. Hey, listen, if you have photos of this, and it's my tax dollars paying for this, release it. What are you doing? Are you kidding me? Are you insane? What the hell? As a lot of people are even saying, oh, the government shutdown? That is really just about this space satellite. What? Really? Other people are saying, no, it's just because of the Epstein stuff. Whatever you might think. Trump announced that he's going to be making sure EBT doesn't get shut down. As people are like, wait, what? Come on. Anyway, now, another interesting part of the conversation is they talked about how the sun will essentially destroy the Earth. In some people say a couple 100 million years and 7.6 billion years. People are saying we need to build a space ark now. And then there's theoretical conversation about literally us being byproducts of previous alien life force, which Elon Musk, who many people accuse of being an alien himself, came out and says, responding to someone talking about this specific issue, that it has, quote, taken 13.8 billion years to get this far, so intelligence seems to be more like a super rare accident than selective pressure. Earth is 4.5 billion years old, with an expanding sun that may make Earth uninhabitable in 500 million years, meaning that if intelligent life has taken 10% longer to evolve, it wouldn't exist at all. Interesting here. And this is what people are responding to Elon Musk with this Avi Loeb Joe Rogan podcast show.
Again, we need the next Copernican revolution, the next Galilean revolution, to realize that there is a smarter kid on the block, okay? And it's just like the experience of my daughters on the first day to the kindergarten. At home, they thought that they're at the center of the universe because they had their learning was based on a data set that was limited to home. It's just like LLMs, artificial intelligence systems that learn from their data sets, and they had limited environment. And then when they went to the kindergarten, they realized there are kids just like them, some are smarter. So we are yet to mature in that sense. And that's the big picture. Now, why is it so important for the future of humanity? Because, the Earth would not exist forever. By the way, when people talk about global climate change and so forth, they don't realize, the issue is not the Earth. The issue is humanity, the future of humanity. And, the Earth itself would be very likely, based on detailed calculations, it will be engulfed by the sun in 7.6 billion years. And here is something that you won't find much discussed. The moon, because of the friction on the envelope of the sun, will crash back to Earth. And then the Earth will move all the way to the center of the sun. Nothing will be left. No monument will survive 7.6 billion years ago into the future. And we have an obligation, if we want to be remembered in cosmic history, we have an obligation not to go to Mars. That's not really a great vision. Going to Mars is just like, you have a group of chimpanzees living in the jungle, on some trees, and they have some bananas and so forth. And then one of the chimpanzees looks far away into the horizon and says, "Oh, look up there is another region that we can go to." And it actually, it's clear that there are no bananas there. So the same is about Mars.
Yeah, there's no bananas on Mars.
Elon says, "Let's go to Mars to save humanity," but it's actually not a great place to be on.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere if you want to populate a planet.
So here is my point.
Okay, here's your point.
It makes much more sense for us to invest in building a platform in space that can accommodate humans, not rely on another rock that happens to be near us with much worse conditions. It's a desert, no atmosphere. So let's build a space platform, go on it, and make sure that it's safe for humans to live for long periods of time. We can produce artificial gravity by rotation. Now, you say, well, it will cost a lot of money, but we're spending $2.4 trillion every year on military budgets.
Yeah, insane amounts of money. Deutsche never got to even correct those budgets. Deutsche and Elon Musk never even got to look into those books. So disappointing. Huge tons of money. Like a lot of our money that's just being taken away through our tax dollars in the most egregious ways.
If we were just to change our priorities and say, we want to build Noah's spaceship, in analogy to Noah's Ark.
If humanity would get their ish together, we wouldn't be thinking of new ways to bomb each other. The next video is going to be about that. The Russians are like, look, we have low atmosphere nuclear powered missile that's going to be up in the air forever. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, look, we just tested our Poseidon nuclear tsunami radioactive water waste weapon. Imagine if humanity got their ducks in a row and was like, hey, yeah, instead of just thinking about multiple ways of just blowing up and killing each other, we're going to actually try to explore and expand human consciousness and try to discover what's in our oceans. Let's start there. We're going to discover what's up all around us. We're going to absolutely have more of an explorer spirit and work together as one human race. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Save humanity from the great flood or catastrophe that will happen on Earth. You build you put a fraction of this $2.4 trillion a year. And I'm willing to bet that within this century, our engineers, architects, scientists, if you put a level of funding of $1 trillion a year for the next several decades, we will come up with a concept that can accommodate humans in space much better than Mars can.
Okay. I want to get back to Mars because the structures on Mars...
No. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I absolutely agree. As some people are saying, we actually might be the Martians that we're looking for. Anyway, I'll get in that conversation in the future. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys taking care of your sleep, not losing sleep, making sure you're going to become the healthiest, most amazing versions of yourself and doing your own research on wearechange.shop. And this is one reason why I greatly appreciate everything that you guys are a part of, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. What do you think is really going on here? Are we Martians? Is this a psyop? Is this real? Is it a comet? Is it a spaceship? What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing, watching. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/weare.